Zuma to the shores of Tripoli. We fight our country's battles in the air, on land and sea. First to fight for right and freedom, and to keep
On this episode of Cigars and Sea Stories, Bennett and Mike sit down to discuss going blue to green. So,
meaning
Marine Corps or Naval Service to Army.
maritime to ground pounder.
There you go. Well,
Which,
and it,
Marines are still ground pounders.
right. But the thing that Marines all know this. If you go to Marine Corps recruit training, you don't have to go to any other boot camp. Whereas if you go to another boot camp, cross over to the Marine Corps, you have to go to our boot camp.
Right. I mean, a lot of people now, a lot go from the Marine Corps or the Navy. I knew a couple Navy guys that were, when I was in the Army, that had gone Navy to Army. Now, did they have to go to boot camp? That was the question. They did. That was stupid. Yeah, but the Marine Corps, I mean,
Naval boot camp in comparison to Army boot camp. It's going to be a little bit different.
Absolutely.
Like putting out fires on a fucking ship in naval boot camp. I don't know what squids do. What the fuck do they do, man? I don't get it.
I don't even know. Other than corpsmen, what the fuck did they do? I don't know.
Well, and I don't even really consider a corpsman a
I mean,
squid.
you know there are cool jobs on like Masters of Arms and or the ordnance guys, dude.
Yeah.
Or think about it, like an aircraft carrier, those dudes that are launching the planes. Like, it's got to be monotonous as shit, but fucking it looks really cool from the outside looking in. Let's be honest.
Doing the cool like salute.
Yeah, dude, doing the salute with the freaking zippity stuff, and it's freaking pretty cool.
Yeah, dude.
It looks. Yeah. It probably sucks balls.
Well, yeah.
I mean, let's be honest. It probably does. It's like, but anyway, yeah. Well, so there's a lot of Marines in the Army. There really is, just a shit ton.
Well, and I was one of the guys who looked at SF and blah, 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 and a few of the other ones, but I'll hone in on, in the Army, it basically was, or when I went and spoke to the Army, I was like, okay, maybe go and fly, and listen, cross over to Chief Warrant Officer program. I wanted to be a Chief Warrant Officer in the Marine Corps.
A lot of guys do that stuff, dude. A lot of guys go. Like, I know 3 guys myself that went into the Army, were infantry guys, and then went on to warrant officer school. One flies Apaches, and the other 2 fly Blackhawks.
Nice.
It's badass.
Hell yeah.
Just in the Marine Corps, you have to be an officer, like an actual O, not a WO. And in the Army, everyone, there are officers that fly, but it's mainly warrant officers. Yeah. And so I actually took the flight test when right before I got out, and did really well. Now, I'm not saying I would have got picked up. You never know, but I don't see why I wouldn't have. I did very well on the test.
Right.
And that, shit, dude, that's a cool freaking job. Let's be honest.
Oh, absolutely.
Helicopters and shit. So
flying around an Apache.
And again, this is part of the thing. So this is why a lot of people go from the Marines to the Army, is because it's just a gigantic force in comparison. They have more jobs. They have more variety and duty station and whatnot. Basically, if you're an E1 through E5, you retain your grade and same date of rank if you go in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then all E5s and above are all, like say E6 or E7. They'll have their grade and military occupational specialty determined by the Army, basically. So it's not saying that they won't be a staff sergeant or a sergeant first class, but they probably won't get to pick their job, Yeah.
That's interesting.
So, yeah. Isn't that crazy? But, so most everyone that I know, it was either an E3, a Lance, or, up to sergeant. So,
right.
Well, and I was a sergeant looking to get out prior to deploying to Afghanistan, and went and sniffed around a few different places. I think I had mentioned this in a previous episode. I didn't want to go. I checked the PJs and blah, blah, blah. They told me that because I served as long as I did in the infantry, specifically the Marine Corps, I would automatically just fail their psych eval. Like, that's awesome, And then, TAC Ps in the Air Force would be really cool.
Well, there's a lot of guys. There's a couple guys that I know that were either recon or MARSOC in the Marine Corps that have gone Air Force TAC-P, Air Force Pararescue even, and then quite a few that have gone to SF. Whether it's active duty SF or SF reserves. Yeah. Which at a lot of points, SF reserves might as well be active duty because you know what I mean? You're still,
Dude, this huge rumble of thunder just came across. That's nuts. I didn't know that there was a massive thunderstorm outside. My
awesome. You'll probably lose power halfway through this recording.
Oh, fuck. So
right? I just knocked on wood though, so.
Right, there we go. Yeah. Thanks, America. I appreciate you knocking on wood. I saw that. Thank you.
So, I mean, if you are an active duty Marine right now, kind of looking at, and I actually just talked to a young Marine the other day who he is security forces right now. He's actually in Fast Company. Nice. Thinking about just kind of moving on, like what are his options? You know, like can I go to a Ranger battalion? Can I do this? Can I do that? And I talked to him and obviously, really the only big rules are you can't have HIV.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm saying to go basically if you've been out for a little while.
We're just going to start with HIV though. We're going to be like, all right, listen, here's the biggest thing.
Separation physical must be within the last 5 years, right?
Okay.
Must meet the minimum 3-year term of service. All right. Be physically fit, Army height and weight standards. And really it's that simple. And then you have to have a favorable re-enlistment code on your DD-214. And I don't know those codes, but yeah.
Right. Wow.
Otherwise, for the most part, at that point, it comes in and out. Sometimes they'll accept, sometimes they won't. You might have to wait a little while, but why wouldn't they accept a fully trained, you know what I mean? Right. Now, so when I went blue to green, I honestly I didn't know shit about the Army. I knew like the rank, but that's it. And frankly, I still, other than the Army goes rolling along, I don't really know the Army song or stuff like that. You know what I mean?
What is the Army goes rolling along?
That's the Army song. It goes, and the Army goes rolling along.
Oh, da 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 da. No.
Yeah, so I know the melody, but I can't tell you the word. Like they'll stand there and sing it, and I'll just be like, ma 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 ma. Da, 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 da. You know what I mean? I don't fucking know the words.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
No idea. So that's one of the things like Eddie Lazary always says to me. He goes, you were straight up a Marine in the Army. That's it. And that's most Marines that go into the Army. They're Marines that are in the Army.
Right.
Get your balls busted daily because of it.
Right.
So...
And you're just
and not only that, you get your balls busted daily by Army guys, and any Marine that hasn't been in the Army, bust your balls about it too.
Big time. So, I'll bust your balls about it right now.
So when I say fuck all y'all, that's what I mean.
Because some of us are purebred and
Blade. This isn't fucking Blade. You're not a vampire. I'm a purebred.
Dude, I was thinking of that movie. So you know how they spray blood over all the vampires in the, I don't know, the basement club or whatever, right? You know what I'm talking about? Is that what you're doing right now?
Yeah. Doom, doom, doom. Yeah, that song.
Right.
Blood spraying all over the joint.
Right. So I think of that scene whenever I think of episode 12 with Lawson Carter and the guys from from the one vet bike.
But it was
right. He shit into the HVAC system.
It wasn't blood. It was shit.
Just spraying shit everywhere.
Dude, if you have never listened to that episode, if you're new to this entire thing and you want to hear one of the best sea stories, episode 12, you will probably put a diaper on because you'll shit yourself. It's hysterical. It is hysterical. Oh my God, I've never laughed so hard.
It is a charity bike build episode, and it is. Oh man.
Oh, but he tells the story perfectly.
So good.
Oh, it's so good. But anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Ah, man.
Any hoozle. So blue to green. Yeah, one of the guys that we had on the show, who's another blue to green, was Chase Millsap.
Chase Millsap. He's one of those guys. He went to SF, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
the Green Beret.
The Green Beret.
Yes.
So that's the other thing that the Army has. It's fucking berets. They got a couple different colors. They got green. The Rangers got their black ones stolen, so they went to tan. And does the Greater Army still wear the black beret, or do they wear hats again? Or do they wear both? I think they wear both.
I don't both.
I don't know, and I'm not gonna look it up.
I gotta say, I'm kind of a fan of the tan, in general, the tan beret.
And then they also have the 82nd Airborne has the raspberry beret, the burgundy maroon, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Right.
I don't really know.
Like what the Red Devils wear or whatever the hell. Yeah.
Right. And then there's some the other beret that I got to wear while I was in was a rust orange beret as part of the Multinational Force and Observers. And with the desert camouflage, that beret actually looks pretty good.
Nice.
Gotta say. So
I don't do the whole beret thing.
God, remember those? Would. Yeah, well,
it's no big what.
It's no big what. It is what it is, but it's like,
ugh.
it's like a whole different thing, man. You know how like Marines will like press their covers, and there's a whole kind of thing that goes into the beret being the right way. You know, you got to like wet it down. You know, there's all those tricks. Right. So, and then the regular covers that they used to wear, we'd like get these roll things going on with they call it the Ranger roll on your cover, which was I don't know how to explain it.
Oh, where you like tuck in the front?
Yeah, they almost kind of look like a Marine Corps cover to an extent.
Right.
You know what I mean? They're just tighten it up. They tighten everything up because otherwise you look like a soup grenade went off on your freaking head. Not pretty.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, that 8-point staring down at you will put the fear of God into you.
Oh, yeah. But you know what? You know how many times I've worn an 8-point? Like a dozen.
That's so crazy to me. I know. You used to live in a boony and a fucking kayak somewhere.
Nothing like kayak.
Isn't that what recon does? You just kayak?
No, shut up.
You're like, merrily, merrily, merrily. Shut the fuck up, Carl. Jesus. Have you seen those memes? The shut the fuck up?
That's
oh my God.
You've got the guy all like locked in the front of that kayak, and then the other guy's freaking rowing. Shut the fuck up, Carl.
Dude, there's so many of those. I laugh hysterically at those.
Yeah, my buddy Scott Mady just sent me, or he just posted these pictures of some recon Marines fighting the Zodiac in the surf.
Nice.
Dude, that was always one of the funny. Anything with boats was my shit.
Yeah.
I freaking loved dealing with the boats.
Yeah.
So that was always a lot of fun. I was actually a mechanic we had these Johnson pump jet outboards.
Yeah.
And I actually went to the school for that, and I went to Zodiac school and got, so it was a lot of fun, man.
Hell yeah.
I loved that. Shut the fuck up, Carl.
He's the guy who slides into your fighting position. You're in 29 Palms or whatever, and everybody's eating chow, blah, blah, blah. You're in between fire missions, and he's like, it's another one, it's another, hot one out there, huh, guys? And like, shut the fuck up, Carl. God.
Everybody's got a Carl.
Everybody does.
Actually, we didn't have a Carl. We had a guy named Greg. Same difference.
Yeah.
Oh, unbelievable.
Oh,
shit that would come out of that guy's mouth. You're like, fuck you. Shut the fuck up. Like, you would get physically angry, like really like pissed.
Right.
Like, just got cut off in traffic. Like, road rage pissed because this guy talked and just said some dumb shit. And you would flip the fuck out. Because you're like, it's like you would come off of like guard mount after being on like 12 hours in like a tower or something.
Right.
And this just say the dumbest shit, and you'd want to punch him right in his throat. And you just freak the fuck out. Hey, everyone's been there.
Oh, dude.
Shut the fuck up, Carl.
I've had two extremes. I've had the guy who has refused to look at a camera in a group photo. And then I've had the guy, my buddy Chad. One of the greatest photos that I have is us leaning up against the Heskos in Sangan, and it's like the day that we're out of PB Gumbati. And everybody just looks like shit. And Chad has this shit-eating grin on his face. Like, everybody's doing the looking hard, the Marine thing, for the camera. And he is ear to ear. Motherfucker, he's got his glasses on, his big fat head. He's like, hey, we're out of here. Hey, guys, great deployment. Sign my yearbook. Sign my yearbook. And you're like, get the fuck...
God. Get the fuck away from me.
And I love Chad. I mean, it's great dude. He's the guy. You'll love this dude. We got to have him on the show.
Deployment yearbook.
Dude, yeah. When I heard about that, when I got back from
I was
deployment,
like, are you fucking serious?
I couldn't believe it. I swear to God, I thought somebody was fucking with me.
Our command actually gave them to us. We didn't have to buy them or anything. When I was in the Army, the command gave it to us.
Oh, gotta love the budget coming out of the 80s. Listen to this guy.
No, fuck. This is post 9/11. Really early post 9/11.
Oh, so you're in the Army?
Yeah, I was in the Army.
That makes perfect sense.
I didn't get any books in the fucking...
Dude, when I got home with 1-5, they were like, we're going to do a C book, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, fuck that. Fuck that right now. Like, I don't even really want to remember that fucking place. What?
Do you have a boot camp book? Do you have one of the ones from boot camp?
No.
I do.
The only thing that I have from any of the training is an SOI. Like, I got the long SOI folder. You know what I mean? Like the long picture.
Yep.
Because at some point in time, that's going to be hanging on the wall, and you just know a lot of those guys did not come home out of that ITB class. The other picture that I have is my DM school photo, which I am wearing so much cami paint. I mean, it's like a poor attempt at blackface. It's bad. Like, dude, my buddy Tim just laughs hysterically whenever I bring out that photo, or just bring it up in general. It's like, look at you. We didn't have any black guys in the class. There's like 18 of us tops. You know what I mean? And he's like, look at you. You're like 6 foot tall. Just
Right.
I was dark as night, man. I was filthy. But those are the only two photos of group like that.
Yeah, I don't have any Marine Corps photos either, but I'm not going to peel that scab off.
Oh, fuck that.
People that have listened to the last couple episodes understand. But, so here's the funny story. And I don't know if you've talked to Nick Bradfield at all, because I'm bitter about the whole light armored infantry taking reconnaissance columns. Remember? Back in 94.
Nick Bradfield. Yeah, Nick Bradfield actually just texted me in the middle of this recording, which, by the way, folks, he was the one who does Divvy Investments. He's not paying me to say this, but check out Divvy Investments.
That's awesome.
DIVVY, Delta, India, Victor, Yankee. Check that out.
Yeah.
He helps with...
We just interviewed him on the other show, too.
All right. Well,
either way, he was the LAR guy, light armored reconnaissance.
Right, because he's in recon with you, right?
Shut the fuck up. So anyway, so he's sending me a peace offering, which is a coin from first LAR. So it's really funny.
Well, I'm sure that you'll cherish that for years.
No, I will. I'll add it. I'll put it right in the fucking shadow box with the other coins.
Yeah. Well, you've got them.
No, I don't have a shadow box. No. Sorry. I have a shadow box that I haven't put anything in.
The worst defense of all.
Because I'm on the fence on whether it's too gay or not.
It's not.
And so I've gotten to the point where my age is catching up to me. So it's not so gay. It's like those freaking those veteran hats that everyone...
Oh no, I do not put that in the same category.
I'm not that old yet. That's what I'm saying. So you understand what I'm saying.
I know exactly what you're saying, but the shadow box, in my opinion, is our diploma. Like, sweet doctorate. Check out these wars I fought in.
Yeah, I'm not talking like awards and all that shit. I'm just talking coins. That's it.
Do it.
That's all I've got. And then the other thing I've got, what else do I have? Oh, I've got some shadow box stuff because I've got a hold of a guy that I met on Facebook. Pretty cool. Sent me, he was some kind of, I don't know, spy or something, some kind of, either worked for the State Department or something. Either way, he had actual Soviet money. So like rubles, like, but Soviet era ones with like Khrushchev's face on shit. You know what I mean? Stalin freaking on the
like Saddam money. We found a bunch of Saddam shit.
Right. So a ton of that money. So he sent me bills and coins, but then also sent me certified pieces of the Berlin Wall.
Oh, nice.
So I'm going to make shadow boxes for my kids out of that.
That's cool.
Which I'll give to them at a later date when they can appreciate it.
Right.
Which will probably be fucking never. Anyway.
Because you're growing up here.
But I will try.
Right.
So. But either way, it's cool. So I have shadow box things for that too, but just have not, haven't followed through and haven't finished because yeah, that's one of my excuses. I just don't have time, which is complete bullshit. But anyway, yeah.
You'll dig it out and go through it, and it'll be a project.
That I've moved and I'm back, and I'm not doing a whirlwind tour of the East Coast of the United States.
God.
Until I move again to North Carolina.
There you go. Get a beach house. Get a beach house. That's what we're doing, people. Here, I'll just flat out tell you. We're setting up shop in Bunker RDU and in the greater Raleigh area. And then the beach house is out at Wilmington, Wrightsville, whatever.
Yeah.
Wrightsville,
Cary, Fort Fisher.
It's all good.
Maybe even a little farther south. Maybe we'll go down to like Sunset. So we're close to Myrtle Beach too. Because there's good dining in Myrtle Beach.
Right.
Same.
There's so many fucking putt-putt golf places, t-shirt places. There's a decent amount of buffet.
Yeah, but there's a lot of good stuff there. Like
there is.
There just is. It's Myrtle. It's cool. Wilmington's awesome. I love it. Maybe even like Surf City or Topsail. Who knows? Either way, we're talking coastal North Carolina, and we're going to rock it out. And that's where pretty much I think we're going to retire.
There you go.
Isn't that the plan, Mike?
Yeah.
Coastal Carolina retirement.
I'm going to slide into a global jet setter role. Really. Just kind of anywhere, wherever I may roam. That kind of.
From bunker to bunker.
Just, right. Rolling from bunker to bunker in a Maybach. Just kind of like adding value wherever I go. Just, hey, what's up? Do you guys want to rock out my Maybach?
Has goals. People laugh, but you got to have goals.
Damn straight. I'm going to be wearing slippers through that whole trip.
Shit.
Tell me that it would be hard to get one of your buddies to be your quote-unquote driver.
No,
dude.
Oh, no, dude.
Be dope.
I already have my... You know what I'm going to wear? Nothing but linen pants all year long. And those fucking... What are those? What is that?
I just pictured Mr.
Linen pants, man.
Mr. Cheezel on Grandma's Boy.
No, basically I'm gonna roll like Charlie Sheen with those untucked, gloriously comfortable shirts.
Right.
That the button down ones.
Yeah. With
linen pants and either flip flops, depending on the time of the year.
They're called Gallabatas. What were you saying?
Either flip flops, right?
Right.
Or those ones that are closed toed, but they're like the canvas shoes, the slip on like Sanku or something
Toms
like that. What you know what I'm talking about? Maybe.
Know.
Oh no. Let's set it up. Maybe I'll be wearing woobies.
Hey, there you go. We're gonna. If
you guys don't know about these woobie shoes. Wow.
Yeah,
they're fucking awesome.
First veteran-led, I believe it's the first veteran-led shoe. Combat flip-flop.
Other than combat flip-flops.
They're not in the same category at all. I have
flip-flops. They're fucking awesome. And if you do not have a pair, you must go buy them. And they're not a sponsor or anything. But I'm telling you, they are, I could see me wearing them for the next 5 years at least. Flip-flops fall the fuck apart pretty quick.
Right.
Nope. Not freaking these. These sons of bitches are freaking badass.
Right.
So.
Gotta love it.
Woobies. Don't fuck around. Woobies footwear. That's probably what I'll be rocking with my linen pants. That's it, baby.
Where do you buy your weed? From you.
From you.
Oh, yeah. What's up, Mr. Cheezel? That's what it makes me think of. Mr. Cheezel on Grandma's Boy.
Oh, my Lord.
You in linen pants. Well,
Basically, no, it's kind of like the dude with money.
Here's the thing, though. You say Charlie Sheen, and you and him, on a serious note, you have Adonis blood. I'm throwing it out there. I mean,
Awesome.
winning. Remember that shit?
Winning. Basically, I want to be the dude with money.
That's a good call.
So even like a Hawaiian shirt that buttons down with linen pants and woolies, or combat flip-flops, one or the other. I'm just saying.
The rug really tied the room together. Did it?
That's it. Really comfortable clothes and linen pants that have like a drawstring waist. You know what I'm saying? You know exactly what I'm saying.
I know exactly what you're saying.
Like Tommy Bahamas, like
people wear them around spas. Yes.
Like motherfucking pajama pants, but made out of linen.
So they're better.
It's basically how I see Richard Branson walking around Necker Island if he's not naked.
Yeah.
Just saying.
I would be naked all the time on my island. I'm just going to tell you that for future warning.
No.
Like, I'm probably going to be naked with a cartridge belt.
Nudity area.
Designated. It's my island. Everything's nudity except for the designated areas.
You have to wear combat flip-flops and a reflective belt.
Right. Some sort of like gladiator, maybe what is that cod piece thing? You know what I mean? Like, that's just what I'll be rocking. Like, Mike, is that a cloth diaper? About as close as it gets. I mean, I did shit myself in it, so I guess it is now.
Jesus.
Right?
Is it going to be made out of linen?
Am I the only one who watches your kid get changed and you're like, fuck, I would pay for that kind of service? But there ain't no way. I tried one time. You get fresh off the pot, call the old lady into the head. Before you know it, it's a fucking 6-hour-long argument. They just don't understand. Anyway. Yeah, I would rock a cloth diaper and like a backwards ball cap.
I remember a episode of Howard Stern where they had Depends on and they were trying to shit themselves. And they just couldn't do it.
I couldn't do it. I
it's one thing to piss yourself. Again, another Marine Corps story. I pissed myself all the time, like in a wetsuit. Especially in like the intercoastal waterway on Camp Lejeune and like the New River in February. You're freezing your ass off. Yeah. You're going to piss your wetsuit to stay warm, period. You're like chugging fucking canteens of water just so you can piss yourself.
Right.
When you're like prepping for the mission,
right,
for the training, dude, drink shit tons of water so you can piss yourself. Or we would do fins, in like March. Dude, it's fucking cold.
Yeah.
Piss yourself. Thank you. I can do that all day, but never in a million years would I think to like shit myself.
See, I've done
that would be horrific.
Okay, so here's a good So on a plate carrier with a nut protector, you've got this fucking triangle hanging in front of you, right?
Right.
And 9 times out of 10, we just tuck that shit up and, like up underneath of your front plate and you don't even worry about your nut protector. Right. It doesn't matter. Okay, so
really save your nuts. Do we know of anyone whose nuts have been saved by this thing?
Oh, I do, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like if I'm not taking a leak, that thing's in front of my nuts.
All right. I was just wondering.
Yeah. And it doesn't even bother you. You just walk around. Yeah, but one time we were in Afghanistan. We were over in one of the villages. I think it was Kanzi, and we had a couple of hills that were around us and stuff like that. You know the people, but you don't know them like that. And, the cops are around and shit. And I'm like, fuck, man, I gotta piss. And I'm patrol leader. If you're saw gunner somewhere, on trail trace on this fucking patrol, it's easy as shit to sneak away and take a piss.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or fuck it, I'm going prone. And I'm just going to dig a little.
Do the little roll side.
Right. This ain't amateur hour.
Right.
I'll even fuck it. I don't give a shit. I'll dig in or something like that. You know what I mean? Hang the hog. No, I'm PL. High vis. I'm like, fuck, I'm going to take a piss. Right?
Oh, man.
And I mean, dude, it's an Afghan village. People are picturing trash on the floor, on the ground. No, there's no trash anywhere. You're talking about starch white, kind of sort of tan buildings, 12 feet high. The little alleyways and stuff all drain down to a central alleyway, all drain down and then go back out to the irrigation and stuff like that. It's really not dirty at all.
Right.
It's not cluttered. Let me put it to you that way. I mean, the adobe walls with hair in them, like animal fur and shit like that.
Right.
But I'm looking around and I'm like, dude, you gotta be fucking kidding me. There is no place. And I mean, what am I going to do when somebody's like, oh yeah, you're one of the fucking 6 Marines on this patrol, you know, and you're waving your dick around and there's this female walking around. They care about that sort of shit, you know what I mean, in that culture.
Right.
Right. So I'm like, oh fuck, man. I'm like, where the fuck am I gonna go? And I can't piss myself. That's definitely not gonna happen. You're talking about tan deserts. It's dry as fuck. Like, everybody's gonna know I pissed myself. And PL ain't going down like that. I walk over and I just kind of like, I've got the rifle slung across the chest, drop the arm in, button. I'm good. The hog is out. And then I move, right? And I'm like scanning my area. Hey, how we looking down there? I'm going to do a little 1-2 down this way with the terp. John Cena's with me, our interpreter. We walk like 5 steps into this alley and I'm like, turn the fuck around. Just give me 5 seconds. And he's like, why, man? What's up? Be cool. Right? You know how... I love Cena. Dude, I would get Cena on the show. That's a veteran. So he's like, what's up, man? And he always had this thing. He would be like, just keep pushing. You know what I mean?
Just to keep pushing.
Right, while we're going on patrol and stuff like that. Right, we're just kind of dogging and shit.
Right.
So at this point, like, you know, like I'm trickling a little bit here. It's splattering all over the ground. And he's like, yes, good. Just keep pushing. And it's like, 1 hand on the shoulder, right? And I'm like, Cena, be cool, man. 2 hand on the shoulder. I'm like, God damn it, Cena. Like, he would fuck with you like you were a Marine. Like he was a Marine. Right. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I walk back around from this fucking corner. I think it was Pablo said something. He's like, what's up, bud? Just get done with the piss break? And I'm like, wow, what's up? And he's like, that ain't dip spit. I look down. I have no idea how piss got on the front of my fucking thing, but somehow it did. There was some sort of like arc went up. Cena's hands on both of my shoulders at the same time while I'm trying to take a leak. Like, dude. And Cena's like 5 foot fucking tall. He had to stretch to get up there. Like, dude.
Wow.
Dude, that's how you know that you've got a kick-ass culture in your team, though, when your terp is just as jar as you guys are.
Oh, man, that's awesome.
Dude, that guy carried fucking guns, man. We'd give that dude a 240 any day of the week, but he preferred a PKM. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh, my God.
Crazy.
And then, of course, you'd like, you back out. You're good.
You're good.
Oh, my God. But you got to say the prayer. Dear Lord, please don't let me die with my dick in my hands.
Right.
Please don't. Don't do this. Come on, man. That ain't right. Let me tuck that shit back before the sniper takes me.
That's
like,
awesome.
just... right? Ugh.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Ugh. Yep. And there you go. That's how you pee when you're out in the Ville.
That's it.
It's easier when you're it's easier when you're, I don't want to say lower on the totem pole. That's not what I mean, but a little less Ville, you know? Viz, you know what I'm saying?
I do.
Dude, we would halt patrols to take, like, we'd be like, dude, we got to halt. All of Truck 3 needs to take a bio break. You know, that's, again, like, fucking people don't think of that shit. They think that we, like, roll out and go back and missions last, I don't know, like an hour or some shit. Like, no. You're out in a fucking Humvee for 14 hours. It never occurred to you that you'd have to take a fucking piss? Like, what do you think we're doing? And I think I've peed in a bottle, like, I don't know, 2 or 3 times in the truck. You know, on post, oh yeah. You know, like, going out training, we're trying to log hours in a Humvee and we're driving down to, I don't know, like, what is it? Yeah, I'll pee in a bottle. But out in the Ville, no, fuck no. Stop this goddamn truck. I'm peeing on the side of the road. I literally watched an 8-year-old shit off a curb 5 minutes ago. There's no way I'm not taking a piss. This is happening. Like,
right. Oh my Lord.
Dude, I'm telling you, man. And then you go up in the gunner's fucking thing and he's got like 8 bottles of piss and he's proud as fuck. You're talking about 1 liter bottles. Not like the little cases of bullshit you buy at Walmart. You're talking about a 1 liter bottle that is full to the brim of piss times 8. And you're like, dude, Shafe, why didn't you fucking tell me? Like, are you serious? I miss an opportunity to gun somebody the fuck down? There ain't no way I'm leaving this. There is no way I'm leaving my fucking turret. Not happening. I will when we RTB, but not right now. Look, dude, gunners are serious, man. Well, especially when you've got like a 240 sitting in front of it, well, or a Mark 19. Ugh.
Well, you know, that all depends on where the fuck you're at, if that weapon's even useful. Well, I mean, it's always useful. 40 millimeter grenades, can fuck some shit
dude.
up.
No, man, we went eastbound on Mount Michigan, south through 295, down Sunset. One of the whatever the fuck buildings that's down there, it's like a 3-story building, and it's pretty defined. I can't remember the name of the road, and I haven't given away anything weird so far, but I was lead truck, right? So I take a left, and then I'm headed down to whatever, like Retard Street or whatever it is. Literally, it's called Retard Road. And it's because a retarded person lives down the road. I'm not joking. So we go all the way down to like Central or whatever. I don't even remember. But I had to haul ass up and around because truck 4 took contact right as we turned left. So it was like, we turn left, 2 make it, 3, or Highback makes it, 2 makes it, 3 kind of sort of makes it. Some shit blows up and truck 4 takes contact. The gunner in truck 4 gets like a nick on the cheek, right? He didn't put in for the purple or anything like that, right? Gets like a nick. He is fucking pissed. He was pissed when we got back to the hooch. He was pissed at the end of the deployment that they fucking nicked him, is what he was pissed about.
Man.
He was fucking livid, fucking pissed that you would mar him. Like... When I got back to Sunset, he was putting a new can of ammo in his Mark 19. He dumped can and like a half on this building, dude.
That's crazy.
He went fucking cyclic on a goddamn 40 Mike. And you're talking about like 70 yards. Fuck you. Like, how dare you? Just starts fucking going, man. Like, whoa. Let up the butterfly every maybe 12 rounds. Like, just chill. And no. And somebody made the comment, dude, when we got back. Now, this is my first deployment, so I was boot, right? And I remember seeing him just unload on this fucking house. I'm like, yes. Because I got a front row seat to this shit. I'm like, this is badass. We get back to the hooch, and Leo, I think it was, I don't remember, but it was one of the other seniors was like, what'd you do, nick yourself shaving? And oh my God, oh boy, fucking erupted. He like, motherfucker, just tears ass out the hooch. Oh my God, dude. He was so fucking pissed. I don't know how else to put it. Like, how dare you fucking touch me with your godless heathen fucking bombs? I'm going to eradicate you right now and just dump Mark. I'm like, dude, yes! Fucking, oh, man. And meanwhile, here's 19-year-old Mike Penny with a chin strap on the Kevlar. It's not even touching my chin. It looks like I'm wearing a hockey helmet. I have a red mustache that is within regs, which means I look like a pedophile. And I'm wearing giant yellow lensed Magnum PI style aviator glasses. Just like, But I got my yoke on. I got the yoke on my flak.
Right.
I'm good. I'm good. It's like covered in dip, spit, and sweat, and you tuck it down into position. It literally, my yoke was in front of my plate the entire time. That was never in front of my neck. Ever. I got told by Staff Sergeant every single day that I needed to pull my yoke up. And then when we sat down in the truck, I just tucked it. Sorry.
Tucked it.
Just fuck it. Oh, dude. Yep. Ramadi.
Awesome.
Ramadi was a really fucking crazy ass place. Yeah, buddy. Ugh.
It is crazy.
The next time we're on, we got to talk about the Swiss cheese building or something like that. I'll get one of the guys, where we went on QRF. Maybe we'll pull Matt Feld back on here. Just kind of like, because Matt Feld was one of our first episodes. It was Josh Mattfeld and Chris Walters.
Yeah, right.
And they're both Ramadi vets. We're in the same platoon, Cat Red. That's what we got to do, man. We got to have a Cat Red, especially with Williams passing away. Jesus. Williams was my gunner. I mean, we got to have on some of the scout snipers and stuff like that. Scout snipers are some fucked up people, man. Just living next door. You know what I mean? Great people. Salt to the earth people. Awesome dudes. They live a completely different way.
I mean, I can tell you that there's a lot of, I know a lot of them. And you've got scout snipers, recon Marines, and even I don't know a ton of MARSOC guys because that didn't exist when I was in.
Sure.
Now I've met some throughout the times, and I, I'm Facebook friends with some guys, and this and that and the other thing, but holy fuck, dude. They're just, it's like I was explaining to someone else today. They're just different. Like
Right.
they're cut a little. And I mean, the way that I can describe it is they're like, imagine, like the guy that you really want on your team in a gunfight, but there's just this sense of devious. Like they're fucking deviants for the most
Dude,
part.
they're sniping people from
No, I'm just saying,
a
I'm not-
long ass ways away, and they're entirely hidden the entire day. Yeah, damn straight, they're deviants.
the buddies that are scout snipe, not every single one, but
No.
the majority of the guys that I know that are recon, Marsoc, or scout snipers, or like corpsmen that are the SARC guys, the special
Oh
amphibious.
yeah.
Corpsmen. We're all a little. We're fucking deviants. That's what they're just doing. And it's not necessarily a bad thing, but they just think differently.
See, I don't know.
There's a little twisted, I mean, it's one thing to have like twisted humor. We all kind of have that.
Yeah.
But there's like a regularity to it that's a kind of off
Right.
with all these guys. Like 0321s, 0317s. You know what I mean? There's some shit that's off with those fucking guys. It just is.
Oh, I love it.
I mean, and no, there's shit that's off with just, 0311s, 31s, 40, 03s in the military, whether they're Army or Marines, that are just something's a little off, right? Because you kind of have to be. But this is on like another level, dude, of off. It's like, yeah.
See, so to wrap things up, you went from being an 0321 to then
Yes.
going into a specialized infantry unit in 10th Mountain.
No, not really specialized. It was just a regular line unit.
Oh, it was. Okay.
Yeah,
I thought that it was specialized in its mission as far as like how you train different things like that. I don't
10th
fucking
Mountain.
know.
That's all. Just because it says 10th Mountain doesn't mean we're like climbing fucking mountains and shit. No, we did get used to the snow. So we could in the snow really well and stuff like that. But, it's just light infantry at the end of the day,
Was it a huge culture shock extreme like
Yes.
ice bucket challenge? Yeah.
Fucking horrendous. It's just because they train to fight so differently. I mean, you don't think, like, especially laymen in Army, will be like, meh. Like the Army guys are always like, meh. We're badass, and the Marines are always like, we're badass. No, at the end of the day, you just fight differently.
Right.
And it's because of the organizational makeup of the unit, number one. And so here's the other thing. Here's what it comes down to. Take the basic units, not the basic unit, but the basic deployable unit within the Marine Corps is a what?
A battalion.
Is or like, just say a MAGTF. You know what I mean? So
Sure.
or like a MU. Okay, right?
Yeah.
So a decent sized, regimental sized force with all the fucking accoutrement, right?
Okay.
And in the Army, you have a brigade combat team. That's about where you take the two and kind of like the comparable forces.
Right.
And a Marine Corps MU blasts the shit out of a fucking brigade combat team every time. It just does. It just does. And it's all because of the makeup of the force. It helps that the Marine Corps has air assets available to them, fast movers.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it's not just that, because the Army can call up planes from the Air Force.
Right.
But of course, they're not a integrated force like a MU. So at the very least, you've got Harriers.
Right.
Or you've got,
F-18s is our airframe, right?
Right. I mean, you've got Harriers, you got F-18s. Well, it all depends. But let's just say you've got an LCAC or something. You've at least got, with a MU, you at least at a very minimum, you have Harriers. Not necessarily F-18s or anything, but I'm just saying at the very least you have Harriers, you got Cobras, and that type of stuff. Now the Army will have helicopters and that stuff, but it's different. When you add fast movers to it, it really changes the game a little bit, and it's just the way that they fight is different.
Right.
The Marine Corps is trained to fight at a disadvantage.
There you go.
Right? We trained to fight at a disadvantage in every battle. Not once did we train to fight. Even like obviously when reconnaissance, you're training to fight at a disadvantage.
Absolutely.
But as a line unit. You trained to fight at a disadvantage. So it's like, let's just say, remember like in SOI when you were just doing like regular movement to contact stuff, right?
Yeah.
You would, if you heard a crew serve weapon in front of you, it didn't matter what kind of element you were in. If you were a squad, you would send out a flanking movement to go take down that freaking thing, right?
Yeah.
Well, in the Army, they literally train that if you hear a crew serve weapon, you're going to assault the position with at least a squad, you're going to bring up the rest of the platoon. So in the Marines, they train to fight at least a 2-to-1 disadvantage, right?
Right.
In the Army, they train to fight in at least a 2-to-1 advantage.
No. Yeah, it's
So,
just a completely different beast, man.
it just is.
It justifies yet again, though, the existence of a Marine Corps. Because it's gone back and forth. It's gone in and out of existence before in our nation's history. The Marine Corps has not always been what it is today. Or is
No, not at all.
And so, I mean, basically, to sum it all up, just go into SF. You'll find a home there. I mean,
Right.
we're still going to make fun of you.
If you want to, and this is how most Marines will think, especially Marine Corps infantry. If you want to be on the same type of level, and you got to look, there's only 100 around, when I was in, there was only about 100,000 guys in the whole Marine Corps.
Yeah.
Okay. So when they say the few, the proud, they mean it. I mean, it's literally like there's literally 3 divisions of active duty Marines. That is it. That's like the size of exactly the name, the Marine Corps. The 18th Airborne Corps has more divisions than the Marine does. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now, a Marine Corps division on average is larger than an Army division. It is. That's the truth. But the thing is like the 18th Airborne Corps, you're rolling with 82nd, 101st, 10th Mountain, 4th Armored, and 3rd ID. And there might be one other in there. 4th ID might be in there too. There's like 5 divisions in the fucking Corps. Okay. So at the end of the day, you're talking that's the entire Marine Corps. And of course they're an elite force. They have a freaking specific mission and they go in. They train hard. I mean, there's a reason 13 weeks of boot camp is 13 weeks of boot camp. Now, what's funny is like the Army will be like, oh, yeah, no, I was in boot camp for like 20 weeks because they consider AIT part of boot camp. But no. Wait. I did 13 weeks of boot camp. Then I did another 4 weeks of Marine combat training. Now, that in itself, every Marine is trained as a rifleman. Mm-hmm. So every Marine goes to the same boot camp. And every Marine, at least when I was in, went through Marine combat training. So that right there, that's 17 weeks. Okay. So every Marine is trained up to just about where an Army infantryman is at the end of AIT even. And then Marine Corps infantrymen go to another 8 weeks of SOI. Mm-hmm. So, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I didn't do the Army side, so I can't say for certain. It's just, again, it's different. They're
different.
just trained.
Right.
And it's just kind of telling, because we know a lot of Rangers, it's just kind of telling that they get along better with Marines than they do with regular Army folk. Yeah. It's just kind of funny.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Well, in hindsight, it's always just kind of different and stuff like that. But in general, let's say, for instance, I was going to go into the Army, I probably would have chosen the Rangers.
Yeah, because
they're cool, man.
Badass stuff, dude.
Fuck yeah, they're.
Let's go see some airfields. Yes, please.
Yes.
Let's go attack, direct action like crazy. It's amazing. It's awesome. It just is. It's awesome. It's everything high speed, low drag that we wanted to do all the time. That's what they did all the time. So it's pretty cool. I mean, you can't fight it one way or another, Yeah. On average, is the average Ranger probably better than the average Marine? I'll concede yes, but that's because they're an elite unit. But I can tell you that most infantry Marines, especially Marine NCOs, I'd say 90% of them could probably be Rangers. So that's something that I can say.
Right, like a solid sergeant in the Marine Corps.
A solid sergeant in the Marine Corps. Every single one of those guys could be any one of them you could pick. Or, there's You know what I'm saying, dude. There's some of those salty lance corporals where they've got it. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of guys, like if they hadn't have gone in the Marines, they could have been Rangers or whatever in the Army.
Right.
Or like LERP or scouts in an infantry platoon or something. Or an infantry battalion or whatnot.
We should have some of those guys on. See, so there you go. So like you were saying some stats and numbers and all sorts of stuff that I honestly did not necessarily know earlier on in the show. And just how it broke down as far as the entry, like specifically you got to do your 3-year obligation and some of those different things.
Correct.
So
yeah, man.
If you guys are serious about going blue to green, we're saying fuck it. I'm gonna go back in. I'm gonna go like reserve SF or something like that.
And part of it has to do with too is look out for your future, especially if you have a family and stuff. I mean, what it comes down to is the chances of making like sergeant major in the Army are 1 billion times greater than making sergeant major in the Marine Corps.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. Just because of the sheer size of, I mean, I have a couple of buddies that are sergeant majors now. And if you had known them 15 years ago, you'd be like, wait, what?
Right.
You know what I mean? You just never know. So I'm just saying, if you're looking at retirement as well, a lot of guys get out of the Marine Corps as an E6.
Right.
A lot of guys, because there just aren't the same amount of slots. I mean, how many gunny slots are there in the Marine Corps? Not a ton, but I can tell you there's a ton of sergeant first class slots in the Army, a ton, because a platoon sergeant technically is a E7 billet. There's only one gunny in the company in the Marine Corps.
Yeah.
In theory, there's the company gun.
Right.
There might be more, but very rarely. There's less than a handful. There's a handful in an entire battalion. So you tell me where there's a bottleneck, and that's gunny. Right. So E7 in the Marine and in the Army, like if you take an infantry company, for example, just a company where you've got 4 platoons, right? Now, that's not saying that there's a sergeant first class in front of every platoon, but in theory, there should be.
Right.
That's the billet, is E7. Squad leaders are E6s. So that's the other difference between the Army and the Marines. Everything is a billet down. Everything's one level down. E4 in the Army is a gimme rank. You're just a private with a shield.
Right.
You're like, as a specialist, and that's give me after 26 months. There you go. Now you're an E4. Jesus. You know what I mean? In the Marines, you got to go to corporal's course. You got to do the whole thing. You got to do the dance, you know?
You got to do those MCIs.
It's not as easy. Corporal is one of the most underutilized ranks in the Army, but still, you don't see a lot of corporals in the Army. Yeah. Because most of them get promoted to sergeant from specialists. Right. So... yeah, man. Well, and E5s are team leaders for the most part. Now, there's plenty of team leaders that are E4 specialists. I'm not saying that it's in every case. I'm just saying that's the billet. That's what, if at full strength, that's what it's supposed to be. And there you have it.
Gotta love it. I still say you're fucking crazy. You should just stay in the Marine Corps. Fuck it. You know what I mean? No?
I mean, yes and no. A lot of it depends. It's MOS driven.
Right.
It really is. It really is because... yeah.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, man.
Hell yeah. Folks, if you haven't already done so, subscribe, rate, and review the podcast. You can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Player FM. Write us a review on iTunes. Can you do that? Like good, bad, ugly, and different? Maybe iTunes review. We're going to pimp that a little bit. We should probably boost that post. Oh, we'll talk about that offline.
Just saying.
Yep, there you go. Another one in the can. God bless America and no one else. You got anything else for listeners out there?
I don't, other than, hey, man. We do this for you. Tell us what you want to hear, Give us some feedback. It's greatly appreciated.
Hell yeah. Thanks for listening, folks. Right about now is when we cue the music.